So, breaking news, we finally have the IPL 2024 schedule. Official and only partial. But then that was something that was to be expected because, well, you know, this year 2024 is the year of the general elections. So, because of obviously, you know, the general elections being there, it means the police forces across those cities are going to be primarily focused on providing security for the general election days, which is why you don't quite have a full schedule as of now. You have the schedule for the first 21 matches of the IPL. So
exactly. So the schedule that has been unveiled, is it official? March 22, 2024, the IPL is officially beginning. And it begins with the Kaveri Derby. CSK, Chennai Super Kings take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at Chepauk.
And in case you're wondering why it is that this match, well, what normally happens in the IPL, you've seen it happen with history as well, is that the defending champions will always A, open the tournament, and B, open the tournament at home.
Yes.
However, it doesn't have to be a repeat of last year's final.
Absolutely.
So, it can be any team who are facing the defending champions. The caveat will be that they'll face the defending champions in the home ground of the defending champions, which is why this match is going to be taking place, of course, at the Chepauk. Sorry, bad news if you're an RCB fan, especially considering their abysmal record in the Chepauk. But blockbuster opening day, and interestingly also the opening day's match is the only match so far which is an 8 p.m. IST.
That is because there is going to be an opening ceremony.
Yes,
an opening ceremony will happen, and remember, this is the potential last season where Taladoni might play in Chepauk. That is a debate for another day. But then yes, only match of the season, which is at 8 o'clock, CSK versus RCB. And as Shane pointed out, the last time RCB won in Chepauk against CSK was the first edition.
2008.
Ever since then, RCB have never won in Chepauk. And last time they played the opening game, RCB were bundled out for 70 in Chepauk.
So basically what has happened since the last time that RCB won in Chennai, the league has grown, we've grown, Dhoni's grown old, CSK won 5 titles, MI have won 5 titles, RCB have won 0 titles, but they have still not been able to register a win since 2008. Not good reading. Anyway.
And after that, we have the Yamuna Derby that begins on the 23rd. The first weekend you will see.
And in fact, first weekend, because after the opening game, you've got a weekend. The opening game is on Friday. And after that, you've got Saturday, Sunday, which of course means only one thing or two things, double header.
Absolutely. So the Yamuna Derby between Delhi Capitals and Punjab Kings is going to begin at 3:30 p.m. And more importantly, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, but I think Delhi's home games starting will be in Vizag.
That is spot on. That is spot on. The matches will be taking place, the first 2 games at Vizag. Now, whether that's down to electoral things, whether that's a DC decision that they've taken to kind of spread their home games around. You've seen Rajasthan Royals and Punjab Kings do it. I'm not quite sure, so I'm not going to debate on it. But I do know that the first 2 of Delhi's home games will be taking place at Visakhapatnam, i.e. Vizag.
But this is Punjab versus Delhi, so it will happen at Mohali. Okay. Then Kolkata, Hyderabad.
In
Kolkata.
Oh, yes.
Your first game, Shane, that's against Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then for Shivam's team, Lucknow Super Giants take on the Rajasthan Royals.
Yes, but an away fixture. Although given last year and given how torrid LSG were at home, it's not the worst fixture in the world to get.
It isn't. But it's kind of a bittersweet homecoming, you may say, because Gujarat Titans, led by Shubman Gill, will face Hardik Pandya's Mumbai Indians.
Oh my God, that is the Super Sunday's main event.
Absolutely.
Oh dear God, what a blockbuster.
And the latest jolt that Gujarat Titans has got is that no Mohammad Shami.
Yeah, we've done that video. You can check it out. It's on Sports Today. The reasons as to why that's the case. But dear God, that is fun scheduling, really.
Exactly.
I said. And after that, you've got, of course, single header fixtures for the rest of the days, or at least the next few days, because after that weekend, you've got RCB versus the Punjab Kings
at Chinnaswamy. The first game of at Chinnaswamy in 2024.
Then you've also got the the rematch of last year's final, this time at the Chepauk. So that's 26th March. 27th is SRH versus MI in Hyderabad. 28th is Rajasthan versus Delhi in Jaipur. 29th March is RCB versus KKR
at Bengaluru.
I love that fixture.
Rinku Singh versus Yash Dayal loading.
Again. And not just that, KKR have the absolute wood over RCB. Could be home, away, the moon, Saturn. It doesn't matter. This is a great fixture. Then you've got LSG versus Punjab Kings. That's interesting. Good fixture. Potentially a good fixture. Thereafter, you've got the double headers, 31st March. You've got Gujarat Titans versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then Delhi Capitals versus the Chennai Super Kings.
Vizag. And remember, 31st March, that's the only day you have a double header. 30th, which is a Saturday, you don't have a double header.
Correct. And then Monday, April 1st.
Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day is Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals in Mumbai. Then you've got, RCB versus LSG. Although, how much of a sting there's going to be in this derby now, I do not know. Considering
main protagonists are all gone.
The main protagonist is gone. He's in KKR now.
He's in KKR.
Yeah, Gautam Gambhir.
Your KKR RCB encounter is going to be very spicy.
Feisty. Especially when you consider 49 all out. Who is the captain of KKR? Gauti. Anyway, so then you've got, as I said, you've got.
Wasn't he the mentor? He 2017, right?
He was the captain.
He was the captain.
Because in 18, remember, he played for
Delhi.
Yes, that was his last year as the captain of KKR. So then after that, 2nd April, 3rd April, you've got Delhi versus KKR. Speaking of. 4th, Gujarat Titans versus the Punjab Kings. 5th April is Sunrisers versus CSK in Hyderabad.
The Godavari derby.
Then you've got Rajasthan Royals versus Royal Challengers Bangalore. So a battle royale, if you're putting it that way. 7th April, you've got Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals, the financial derby fixture, you can say. And then 7th, the last fixture that we have so far, Lucknow Super Giants versus the Gujarat Titans.
So, if you want Rishabh Pant to be seen in action, 23rd March, mark that in Mohali. Maybe he might make a comeback there. But it begins with a blockbuster encounter, MS Dhoni versus Faf du Plessis.
The Chennai Super Kings captain against the Durban Super Kings captain.
Durban
Super Kings, sorry. Durban are the Super Giants, that's the confusion.
Now, why has this schedule been announced only for the first 21 games? As you know, the IPL and the BCCI are going to be in coordination with the Election Commission, because from April onwards, you're going to see the general elections being held.
So,
phase-wise elections are going to be held, and last time when you saw in 2019, 7 phases there were elections throughout the country. So basically, if you look at it, very few northern venues have been used. I think only Mohali is there amongst all of them.
Yeah, because see, Delhi is the other northern team, and they are playing their 2 home games in Vizag. Then you've got Lucknow Super Giants, also a north team, but Lucknow don't have a home game until 7th April.
7th April, yes. So see.
No, actually they do have 30th March. So
no, but 30th March, if you look at it, that is
before elections.
Lucknow. That is in Lucknow. So only Jaipur, Lucknow and Mohali are the northern venues. I say most of it is in south.
And remember, note Delhi being key, because Delhi, of course, capital, the place that will have a lot of focus when it comes to elections. So no matches in Delhi.
And if you look at it, Kolkata at this point, how much ever I can read, has only got 1 home game.
Yes, that would be spot on the 23rd March against Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Because mostly West Bengal will also have 7 phases of election.
Bengal is one of the biggest states too.
So that is why. So only 1 in Lucknow, and you've got most of them in Hyderabad, Vizag, Chennai. And Bengaluru also is hosting some games. So the Election Commission will then decide on what are the dates, what are the phases. I think in the next 2 to 3 days, I think the Election Commission will announce the dates. And then after that, the IPL in coordination with them will release a phase-by-phase schedule.
And this was confirmed, by the way, by Arun Dhumal, who is of course the chairman of the IPL. He had confirmed it to multiple media outlets, including us over here at Sports Today, that this time you're not going to get a full schedule. It is only going to be phase by phase, because, well, that's just the nature of the beast as it is. You need to do it that way, because we can't plan ahead. It's impossible to plan ahead, because you don't know where the elections are happening, and we can only plan the schedule based on the election dates.
2 factors. 1, you have to ensure the team is ready before the ICC World T20 that begins on June 1st. So the final, if the date of the starting of the IPL is correct, which is March 22, May 26th is the final at Chepauk. So that is the date which we can also confirm at this point in time. But at one point now, see, until 7th April 22 to 7, it's been announced. So that means you have been given a total of 16 days. 16 days, 21 matches are going to be played. After that, the remainder of the games will be played. And we are talking about 90 games in the IPL. That might happen in 2025.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening this year. I think this year they'll have to stick with each team playing 14 because it would be impossible to coordinate that schedule otherwise.
So Delhi at this point has not gotten any games. Understandable since the election, and mostly the first initial phases will happen from the north and the east, and then it will move south. So the south will finish all their games by mid-April. Then after that, when it moves to south, the north of India will host the IPL games at that point. So, Chennai versus RCB. I mean, should I feel sorry for RCB? But remember, records are meant to be broken, by the way. RCB can very well end 16 years of pain at Chepauk. And looking at past encounters, lost on a no ball, lost couldn't by not defending 206, and bowled out for 70. That is RCB's nightmare when you look at it in Chepauk. And Taladoni, I mean, what a scenario for him. He comes, opening ceremony at 7:30 p.m. on that day, so you'll have the start at 8 o'clock.
Correct.
And imagine the situation if Chennai managed to reach the final is also in Chepauk. And Hari, the CSK superfan that you see, who's always there in that yellow thing cheering, yellow paint and cheering them on, he admitted to me once a couple of years ago that I only wish Chennai don't play the final in Chepauk.
Because it seems like it's going to be happening.
We fans can't take it. If Dhoni announces his retirement at that time, we fans can't take it.
But that seems like it may happen.
It will happen. So
that is the schedule that we have so far.
Yep.
Match number 1 to match number 21 is what we know up until this point in time. The rest of it, well, as and when we get to know about it, so will you guys.
So, looking at it, Shane, how do you think your team is faring at this point? Looking at KKR beginning in Kolkata against Sunrisers,
Yeah.
the rest of the fixtures, how do you feel?
See, we KKR have, I think, only 3 matches.
KKR
You've got
RCB.
Sunrisers,
Yep.
then you've got KKR versus RCB,
Yep.
and after that, you've got KKR versus the Delhi Capitals. That's it. Those are, on paper, they're 3 pretty winnable fixtures. Again, I'm not discounting Sunrisers, but Sunrisers always have a good squad on paper.
Yep.
Plus, this is a very new look team, and their first match is going to be against KKR, who, whatever else said and done, are pretty settled for the most part.
Yep.
They haven't made that many changes.
Yes.
So you've brought their home game should do well. After that, you've got Bangalore at Bangalore
Exactly.
it should be 2 points in the bag, I hope. Then Delhi also KKR have a pretty good record, but it's pretty even.
Steven,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is the only real tricky game if, going by past form, going by how it is the trends have gone previously. That's an okay fixture to start with. But what it does tell you is that games will fly thick and fast in the second part of the schedule.
Exactly.
It will fly thick and fast.
As far as my team, Chennai Super Kings, is concerned, it's given me 2019 vibes. You won the tournament in 2018. You begin your campaign against RCB in Chepauk.
At home.
So that is one fixture which will be a tricky one because RCB, looking at the squad that is there, top heavy, yet again with Green there, Patidar there, Maxwell there, Faf, then you got Virat. It is top heavy. So
as always.
But then the fixture that I'm most interested in looking is
GT.
CSK versus GT. But this time it's a GT team minus some big names. No Hardik, no Shami. And you got Shubman Gill, his first major test as captain. All the best for that.
Not the best of times really for this match to be happening.
CSK versus DC in Vizag.
I think DC are not one team that have given CSK a lot of trouble.
Pant versus Dhoni.
Interesting.
If that happens, that's the only interest. And then you got CSK versus SRH. I mean, we have had the wood over SRH for quite some time.
Exactly.
But this time you got Cummins, you got Head. Let's see how
Cummins, Head,
Hasaranga, yep. So it's a very interesting schedule. So opening game for CSK, it's against RCB, Faf du Plessis versus MS Dhoni at Chepauk. If you want Rishabh Pant to be seen, perhaps he may come in the Punjab versus DC game that'll happen on the very next day in Mohali. That's a day game. If you want Hardik Pandya to come in, it'll be MI versus GT in Ahmedabad. Beat that. Providence. But then if you want any other fans that you want to look for, any other big names to look forward to.
If you're a
KKR fan is
already mentioned.
KKR
if you've got RCB, if you're an RCB fan, bad start really. You're up against CSK at home.
Yep.
So if you're an LSG fan, good start. I would say Rajasthan Royals
for
away.
Shivam's team, Lucknow Super Giants. I think it's a good start.
It's a good start because you've got an RR are a team that tend to do well, but are also beatable for the most part.
But remember, Sanju Samson begins well against in the IPL.
Yeah.
And then he tapers off.
Then he'll always taper off.
So that's the thing. So, okay, good, decent schedule. You've got potential.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been a fair few exchange of players between these two sides. Remember, LSG and RR actually exchanged Avesh and Devdutt.
Yes.
So you've got 2 players who will be coming up against former franchises with a point to prove.
Yep. So you basically got 4 double headers in this 21 and the 16-day period.
Correct.
You got 4 double headers. 7th April, you got one on 31st, and then you got one on 24th and 23rd.
Correct.
So that is your double header days. You'll have more double headers in the next half. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, there should be only 8 or 9 double header days.
I think so.
That is the IPL thing at this point. So, CSK versus RCB, March 22.
Mark your
8
calendars.
PM. Mark your calendars. And from me and Shane, it's bye-bye. We'll be coming back soon for the dugout. Join us for that. We'll be discussing India versus England 4th test at Ranchi. See you.